Everybody who has a job or a social media account needs to be building their reputation, and they can do it directly themselves. And having a digital reputation is key because you know how you interact with people in real life and in your circles and your relationships. How are you mirroring that and representing it online? How are you showing up the way you want to show up? Since that's what people divert to first, is how you look up people online, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google, whatever. You really need to think about, am I intentional about how I'm showing up? Do I control what people see about me, or am I letting other algorithms decide what they find out about me?
This is Let's Make Waves podcast. I'm your host, Rana Al-Basri Marwan, and I believe that we're all here to make waves. I created this podcast to help you build your brand by sharing with you tools, resources, and strategies to gain professional authority for better business opportunities. If you want to get unstuck, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Make Waves podcast. As you know, I always try to bring to you stories, insights, and strategies from the world, some of the world's most inspiring leaders and change makers. Our guest today is none other than Maha Abouelenein, a powerhouse in global communication, a best-selling author, and a trailblazer in bridging cultures and industries. With over 30 years of experience, Maha has worked with some of the biggest names in tech and business, including Google, Netflix, and Careem. She's the founder and CEO of Digital and Savvy, a communication firm that spans US, Dubai, and Egypt. From launching Netflix in the Middle East to advising key figures like Gary Vee and Deepak Chopra, Maha has mastered the art of storytelling and reputation building on a global scale. She was born and raised by Egyptian parents in the US. Maha's journey is truly a testament to resilience and self-reliance. She began her career in Egypt at 27 without even speaking Arabic or having any local connections, but soon rose to lead some of the region's most impactful campaigns. She's also the author of the book 7 Rules of Self-Reliance, a best-selling book that inspires readers to take control of their destinies and thrive in uncertain times. Today, I'm very excited to sit down and talk to Maha about her incredible journey, how she has turned challenges to opportunities, and honestly, most importantly, I enjoyed talking to her about her philosophy on personal branding and what it takes to succeed in today's fast-changing world. So, all I can say, buckle up for this episode because it's jam-packed with wisdom, inspiration, and actionable insight. I hope you enjoy the show. Maha, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us today. You have no idea. I was telling you before we record that this is a full circle moment for me. So I'm really excited you're here.
Thank you.
And of course, this gem that is between my hands, your book. I love it.
I have one too.
I remember ordering it the day that you announced on Instagram that you wrote a book. I remember pre-ordering it and I'm like, I know it's going to deliver, and it did.
Thank you.
So I want to start with the way things that are today.
Yep.
There's so much noise out there, good noise and bad noise, good times and not so good times. But in the sense that there's a lot of information, there's data, there's no limit to that. But at the same time, there's this wave of, instant gratification, fast, easy, quick wins. Your book and your content and everything about what you put out there is all about the long game. It requires initiative, adaptability, the growth mindset and discipline. Yep. So why is this happening? And why was it important that you put this message out there about playing the long game?
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I wrote this book was to share with people not what I did, but how I did it. Like a lot of the success I've had in my career was by playing the long game, was by investing in myself, was by investing in my relationships, was by finding ways to create value for other people. Like you said, we live in a world with like instant gratification. Everybody wants like, I'll do this for you if you do this for me, or I want to download this now or get this information right away. we've been spoiled because we have access to everything at our fingertips.
True.
But when it comes to building relationships or building your reputation, that takes time. So how can we thinking about relationships over the long term, not trying to get something out of somebody right away, but what about bringing value to them, showing up for them, checking on them, supporting their businesses, supporting their goals, being intentional about how you help them, and do it graciously and generously without expecting something in return. So I think that's the difference. It's like, if you want to have a long-term play, if you want to be a long-term player or build relationships, you can't just expect to have transactions between people and expect that they will bring anything of value for you today, tomorrow, or a year from now.
Yeah. And you say that right off the gate. Your rule number one, stay low, keep moving. It means that there has to be discipline to stay the course, and you have to prioritize action. What are the key tips for staying the course? I mean, it's so hard to be.
It's so easy to be distracted. The reason why I start the book by talking about stay low, it's not about being stay low profile. It means stay low and under the radar with what you care about getting done and focusing on your goals. Because there's so many distractions, media, social media, family obligations, work obligations, personal obligations, that if you just spend your whole day, catching tennis balls, you're never going to actually stop and play the game, right? You need to actually focus. And focusing today takes a lot of effort. We're easily distracted, or we're easily bored, and we pick up our phone to scroll, or we waste time watching shows and just doing mindless things because we don't know how to stay focused on what we care about. And it's a problem, actually, that it takes effort to stay focused on your goals or stay focused at work.
That's so true. And one of the key things that is mentioned in your books and in your book and also in your content is about the importance of prioritizing action. But that happens when you kind of in the mindset of giving value. I mean, it's in your second rule. You have to become a value creator. So, I mean, don't you think that there's a way for a person, whether they are working in a company or if they're doing something on their own as an entrepreneur, is there a way to understand what are exactly my strengths? How do I want to be a value creator? Because sometimes it's really hard. You want to copy everybody. What's in, what are the trends? And
that's a good point. Yeah. In order to create value for people, you have to know what you're uniquely good at, right? Because that's the thing that you want to offer. So how do you figure out what you're good at? Are you good at, a lot of people don't realize they're sitting on skills that are translatable and valuable for other people. Like, are you good at solving problems? Are you good at listening to others? Are you good at connecting other people to other people? Are you good at being somebody who's a motivator for others? What are the things that you, like, if you were to ask yourself, what am I really consistently good at? Or what is it that people say I bring to the table? Like, you can ask people, but also ask yourself. That's what you should do to create value for other people. Somebody like in my company, one of the skills that they might be very good at is adapting to new changes. And it's like, okay, I'll pick it up. I'll learn it. I'll be adaptable to whatever's happening around me. That's a valuable skill.
That is. And now with AI, I mean, you have to learn a lot.
You have to learn new things. And I think the biggest opportunity you have to create value for others is to ask yourself, have that level of self-awareness, like, if I were to just market myself and to talk about my secret skills or my secret sauce, what would I say that is? Is it communicating? Is it being on time? Is it being reliable? Is it being loyal? Is it being a go-getter? Is it being a quick starter? Is it being a hard worker? Is I'm willing to put in extra effort? Everybody has something. And that's my point, is use that to create value for other people, because you'll get a lot of rewards for it. You'll get better relationships, bigger opportunities, more money, more freedom, all the things that come with creating value for somebody else.
When you're thinking about creating that value, Maha, it takes a lot of, other than we talked about self-awareness, but it also takes a lot of action. You need to basically start when you're starting off to get that confidence. You rely on courage. You use a lot of courage in the beginning. Do you think it is easy for people to understand that the only way to move forward is to take risk. And what does calculated risk really look like?
Yeah, I think you need calculated risk means you're basically taking a chance, but you're not just jumping blindly, right? So you're weighing out options, thinking about opportunities. And I feel like the good work happens when you step outside your comfort zone. And you've heard that saying before, like nothing good happens when you stay in doing what you're comfortable doing. Like if you want to have different results, you have to do different things. So I feel like you should experiment. You should try new things because that's where the learning comes from. That's where the growth comes from. And so I don't really see it as a risk as much as I think about what's the issue if I don't take advantage of this opportunity. You know, what would be the setback that will come to me if I decide to, like, everybody's learning about AI and I'm not going to learn about it? You're going to be left behind.
Yeah, and you're going to be a waiter. You're waiting for somebody to help you out, and this is the thing.
Exactly.
You have to take control of your situation. Here's the thing: moving from that, taking control and trying to basically do a lot of
awareness, self-reflection.
Yeah, and reflection, exactly. Self-reflection and all of that. It takes you to a point where you need to be so aware of your capabilities or your setbacks that you're willing to learn and relearn or unlearn new things. Here's the problem, because we talked initially about noise and all of that. Because there's so much out there in terms of information, how can you verify that this person that's giving you that information is a reliable source? How do you know this is the right place to relearn and unlearn the new things? How do you identify?
I feel like everyone has a built-in barometer. It's called their gut. Trust your gut. Listen to your gut. If you feel something is off, then it's probably off. Often our gut tells us if something is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, or if we trust something or if we don't. Like, we're so lucky. We live in a transparent world, so we can see everything as it's happening. And we recognize someone pulling a fast one on us when we know it's not how it really is. And I feel like we do have to trust ourselves. We do have that intuition. We do have that knowledge. And we need to be able to judge things based on whether we believe it to be true or not. And I feel like people who listen to that are the ones that are going to succeed.
So basically, one of the things for the gut feeling, which you spoke about earlier, it's the playing the long game. I mean, if somebody comes and tells, you hear it a lot. These are the 10 steps that you do, and then you will gain that much number of followers, or you will get promoted.
Yeah, but you have to put in the work. A lot of people don't want to put in the effort and put in the work.
Yeah, that's true. If you're moving from, there's something that was your reality and you're comfortable where you are and everything, but just like now there's AI and things are changing, and then you have to pivot. Is that part of the relearning process, or is it also one of your things, one of the points that you mentioned, which is about not being a waiter and just putting yourself out there to learn new things?
Yeah, this is one of the rules of the book. It's called Unlearn, Relearn, and Invest in Yourself. Sometimes we have to unlearn things that are no longer serving us and relearn new things. So, for example, I always talk like in hiring practices. I used to always, hire people based on their education, their degrees, their work experience, like that type of thing. Today, I have to unlearn that process because I might get somebody very talented from an industry I didn't consider before. Or I might get somebody who has extraordinary skills, but came from a career path that's unusual to what I would normally hire for. So I'm trying to relearn the new ways of finding talent. I'm looking for skills. I'm looking for expertise that they have in different industries. So I think about that a lot. And when you are thinking about unlearning or relearning something, look at where your frame of reference is coming from and what could you do to grow your skills and your learning and be more open to new ways of working or new ways of thinking.
Does mentorship come in the relearning process?
100%. I love mentorship for a couple of reasons. You can have people that are mentors of you, that are people who are on social media who don't really know that they're mentoring you, but you look up to them and see that they're offering ways, advice, learning, skills, wisdom that you can benefit from your experience. And then there's people that you will meet with that you can have them be your mentors. The biggest problem I think that a lot of people face with mentors is they don't know where to find one, and you don't know what to ask them. Have a specific ask of what you require from your mentor. Like, I want to meet you 3 times a year. I want to meet you once a month, whatever the amount is, or how much time do you need from them? And then say, these are some of my goals of what I'm working on. And I'd like you to help me build a path to achieve them, or advise me on this, or have a specific ask, a timetable and a specific ask of what you want from them. And then you're more likely to get a mentor and to link up with someone who can actually bring value for you and also bring value for them, because what's in it for them? They're taking out their valuable time to support you. Make it meaningful for them as well.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people would step up for something like that. I mean, I remember having few questions, and then, someone that I am, not really connected with in LinkedIn, and you would send them a message, and most of the time people like to help.
Yeah.
But of course, your point to being really clear, if it's more extensive, being clear about how much you need to have, you need support or guidance is key.
100%. Yeah. I think that's a successful mentorship process is one that brings value to both sides, not just the mentee who's receiving the benefit of the work from the mentor, right? So
Yes.
making sure that you're thinking about how you can save their time or bring them value, or let them have a process of also getting something out of it by helping you grow in specific ways.
True. I want to get to I believe it's the biggest chapter in your book.
Yes.
It's the important chapter, which is rule number 5.
Yes.
Think of your reputation as a currency. And this means a lot, personal brand, reputation, your name means a lot of things. But in the end, it's basically taking control of the narrative.
Yes.
So I was talking to a lot of my clients, and I'm like, when we talk about the narrative, we always, growing up, you do that. If you're going somewhere, you dress a certain way, you talk because you know who is your recipient. But now it is becoming digital. Can we talk more about taking control of the narrative, and what does that mean?
It is the most important thing, I think, in today's society, and it will be for the future for years to come. Because of AI, because of remote working, because of career mobility, because of the competitive nature of how businesses and companies and brands work, everybody who has a job or a social media account needs to be building their reputation, and they can do it directly themselves. And having a digital reputation is key, because you know how you interact with people in real life and in your circles and your relationships. How are you mirroring that and representing it online? How are you showing up the way you want to show up? Since that's what people divert to first, is how you look up people online, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google, whatever. You really need to think about, am I intentional about how I'm showing up? Do I control what people see about me, or am I letting other algorithms decide what they find out about me? And I think about a lot of people like, well, I have a reputation, but I can't control it, or I don't want to be a social media influencer. Why do I need to build my personal brand? The reason you need to build your personal brand is it will give you visibility. It'll give you authority. It'll give you credibility. It'll open doors. It will give you new opportunities. It'll help you build stronger relationships. It will help you grow your relationships. And the more relationships you have, the more opportunities you have. The more opportunities and people you know, the more money you can make and the more freedom you will have. So it's a full circle, needing to do it because of the way people live online and digitally. You have to make sure your presence is there and strong and something intentional. But it's also smart business and smart economics for you to be thinking about that.
Yeah. One of the limiting beliefs that a lot of people have, especially on this topic of personal brand and being active online, is that, especially for working professionals, is that they're going to think I'm looking for a job, or they don't understand, or they're not really. For the longest time, thought leadership was kind of for a special group of people, people who have been in a business in an industry for a long time, or they've published books or anything, while thought leadership is about your opinion also on certain industry matters or stuff like that. How can people overcome that limiting belief without really jeopardizing, especially for working professionals in their careers, because it helps in their promotion and growth? How can they tackle such limiting beliefs, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a coaching program right now, and I'm dealing with some entrepreneurs and female founders, and I actually have a a businesswoman who has a full-time job, executive vice president at a very, very big company, and has like a private personal brand that she's working on with her family and her husband. And she has this limiting belief that she shouldn't, create the content or tell those stories, or that's not something she's used to because she's done in corporate for so long. So it's uncomfortable for her to be building her personal brand. But when I put it to her in the context of, how do we think about ourselves? We're many things. You could be a mother, and you could be an employee, and you could be a sister, and you could be a community activist. You could be many things in this world. And so a lot of people also have a lot of passions and desires outside of work that they want to fill their cups with and bring more happiness. So if you have limiting beliefs, you have to ask yourself, if I am afraid of doing it because I don't have the confidence to do it, or am I doing it because I'm afraid of what people will say about me? Am I afraid of judgment? Am I afraid of putting myself out there and then failing? You have to ask your question, why are you not doing it? Is it because of something within you, or is it with something that you're worried about from the outside world? And starting with the outside world, this isn't the world we live in now. Everybody's doing this.
Exactly. It's the new.
It's the new of creating stories, sharing your expertise, building your brand, building economic opportunity for yourself, bulletproofing yourself against AI, securing your job by having a strong personal brand. If you work as an employee in a company, you need to have a very strong personal brand. This isn't just for entrepreneurs and social media creators.
True. Exactly. This is how you get seen.
Keep your job if you know how to build your personal brand. That's how it works.
So what are your thoughts about faceless marketing when it comes to personal brand? Is it feasible?
Great. Yeah, you can share your ideas. You don't need to be in the picture.
Yeah, especially if you're a professional on LinkedIn, the writing.
Yeah. It's about thought leadership. It's about your ideas. This isn't about you. Personal brand is not about your personal life.
Exactly. Nobody's asking you to show the kids, Yeah.
No, or your vacations or anything like that. It's really about your ideas. Your ideas are what can speak for itself.
And you talk a lot about the role of storytelling and building a personal brand.
Yeah, I think it's key. I think you need to know how to tell stories in today's world. Modern communications is one of the skills that will never, ever, ever, ever go out of style or need. AI is never going to replace storytelling.
And I actually, on the thought of AI, this is like the perfect tool if you want to use it when you're doing storytelling.
Yeah, you can use it to scale and structure your stories, to build out your ideas, to do copy editing, to help research stuff. It's just, even if you want to put a prompt in AI, you have to know how to communicate to tell
your idea.
Your ideas. So knowing how to articulate your ideas and communicate them is fundamental to operating in today's world.
I really love this chapter because I feel like it has a lot of tentacles, in the sense that it's all about you as the person, as the professional or the founder. And there's the part of the storytelling and knowing how to communicate your value, your expertise, your thoughts. But then there's also the networking side to it. There's the storytelling side to it.
100%.
Yeah. And I feel like this is where, and of course we talked about limiting beliefs, but I feel like this is where a lot of people stop. They believe that my work will speak for itself, or my products, I have a company, so my products will speak, or my services will speak for themselves. Yeah. And it's something that they work hand in hand. People like to work. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the fundamental thing in what you just said is that you do need to work hard and you do need to deliver results. Right? That is where you start. You can't be just a talking head building a personal brand with no credibility, expertise, or results and value behind it. So you do need to have your work speak for itself to begin with, so that you can, not seek credit for it or not try to, promote something that doesn't exist. So that's the first thing. I always believe that put your head down, put the hard work in, and let your work speak for itself. But when it comes to building relationships, you need to articulate who you are and what you stand for. You need to build your personal brand if you want to build relationships. And relationships are the bread and butter of opportunities.
Yes, yes. And on the note of relationship, I think the second biggest fear after, I don't know, bungee jumping, I think so. I don't have the data, but
I
it's
could never,
networking,
I could never.
and building relationship. It's always easier when you have a friend or a common contact and then they do the introductions on your behalf. But starting from scratch, or at least initiating that connection, is one of the hardest thing people, introvert, extrovert alike.
Yeah. I mean, the term networking gives people the heebie-jeebies. Like, it makes them like, I don't want to go into a room. I don't know people. Hand out my business card. It's very old school. That's not how people network anymore.
No, not at all. And now with online social media, it's even easier to find.
Yeah, you can spend 15 minutes just networking with people on LinkedIn and commenting on their posts and sharing their work and commenting on other people's work. And, I just believe it's easier now to create your foot in the door with many different people. But the key is, how do you get it from a DM into an email and email into a meeting? I do share how I do that in the book. I do share what's the modern way to network. And I think a lot of people overlook networking with people that they already work with in their company. They think it's only external relationships they need to build. It's also the people that you see on Zoom or Microsoft Teams. How do you build a relationship with them? How do you set up time to get to know them? Because you don't know if they could be an ally or an advocate or leave to take another job. It might be a potential opportunity for you, for your work. Always think about creating relationships at every stage and every age of your life, and making deposits over time in that trust bank, so that when you come to network, it's your network helping you meet other people in the network.
Yeah. And if you need to be
having to open new relationships every single time.
And Maha, you're known for it. You're like a super connector.
I love it. I like people. Like, I am a master networker, and I know some of the most powerful people in the room, and I get into the most powerful rooms in the world because I'm very good at building a relationship, not asking for anything, connecting people in my network to other people, following through, and adding value. That's how I do it. And it's not rocket science. I explain it in detail in the book.
Yes.
But that's how I get into the rooms. That's how I get the big business. That's how I get the big accounts. That's how people trust me. And I don't ask for anything. I never ask my network for stuff. I'm not shaking them down. I'm not doing transactions. I'm building relationships consistently over time. And that's what works. And that's what really makes a difference, not just for me, but for my company, for my business, for my clients. It has a ripple effect of supporting way, way, way beyond just me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, it's really key, the word trust, because, you meet new people. And then I remember someone sharing my contact with somebody. And then like the first call I get was an ask, and I didn't know who's the, mutual connection. And it's a very sensitive thing, the networking, isn't it?
It's so funny. I should do a video about this. It's so annoying when like people put you on email together or put you on text message together, and you have
WhatsApp.
You have no context whatsoever, or they create a WhatsApp group. And like, if you're going to be the person that does this, let me give you the trick of how to do it and how not to do it. Don't blindly connect to people and say, leave it to you two to connect. About what? What's the context? What's it for? Create value for both sides. Like, reach out to A and B and say, listen, I met this person. This is, I think you should meet them. This is why I think you should meet them. Add value, give them context about the relationship, then show them the reason why you think it's meaningful is 1, 2, 3. Are you okay with me to connect you with
permission? Exactly.
Permission. And then go to the other side and say, listen, I have this. And this is, once you have that buy-in from both sides, you've explained the reason for the introduction, you've explained the value of the introduction, and you've given them the context of what they need, then they can actually take that step forward and actually be grateful to you because you actually did them a huge favor or something that was meaningful or valuable. That's how you do it correctly. A lot of people just like, I want to get this done with. Let me
exactly. Exactly. And it's such a
Awkward feeling too,
it's
because
an
you
awkward
don't wanna let
feeling.
somebody
Yeah.
down, but like you're like, excuse me, what's this about? Like,
Yeah. It's really funny. When I moved to Canada 5 years ago, I didn't know anybody. And I remember friends in Dubai were saying, my cousin's husbands, and funny enough, 5 years later, all the friends that I've made here in Canada were through, honestly, hands and God, was through Instagram, people that I've connected when I was in Dubai. And then I told them that I've moved, and then we had some coffee, and then they introduced me to more people. I mean, it happens, and you can do it on a personal and a professional level.
yeah,
So,
for sure, for sure.
so, this is I want to delve a little bit deeper on the taking it from the network to the personal brand. These two things, I believe that this impacts a person's career or a person's
Yep.
business a lot. I mean, these two play a huge role. um, Today, do you believe that a lot of information that is out there when it comes to building a personal brand is going to be relevant once that AI is going to be more in our life, is going to be more relevant in terms of the tips that we get, or which I'm Maha Abouelenein in school, which in my opinion, it does, no matter how the advancement of technology is, doing the actual work and being really clear on your goals will always be like a principle, no matter what things
Yeah,
have.
yeah. The answer, first of all, I love Maha Abouelenein in school.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think that it's both and. It's not either or, right?
Okay.
You do need to build your personal brand, and AI can help you do that. It can help you do it if you train it to be thinking the way that you think. But not everybody's capable of doing that, and that takes time, right? So I really believe that storytelling, lived experience, emotional intelligence, emotional connection, that can never be replaced by AI. They always talked about, actually, there was a story I saw today about people were using AI to match profiles for dating, because that's
Yes.
something that you can do. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. How would it seems inauthentic and insincere and cheating in a way. And I feel like people are smart enough to see if somebody has a post on LinkedIn that's been written by AI.
Oh, absolutely. The language and everything,
Yeah,
especially, yeah.
the style is so obvious to me. Like when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's not really their voice. That's not really them. That's an AI tool writing stuff for them.
So, what do you think about curated authenticity? This is something I advocate for when people tell me I'm not an social media influencer. When I talk about personal brand, so I tell them authenticity. You have to have curated authenticity, especially online, because you need to understand who your audience are. So you have to put out authentic things about you, but which
Yes.
are curated to your audience.
Yes,
How much is understanding your audience or understanding who you're talking to really matters about
it's
curated?
essential. It's essential. You're not creating value for you. You're creating value for your audience.
Yeah,
Anybody
absolutely.
who's creating content, if they're doing it for them, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They should be doing it for the audience, to build a community, to educate, to inspire, to inform. Those are the reasons why you do it, because you want to help bring value to the market, the marketplace, your community, your audience. I always think about audience first, right? Because I feel if you can really understand what your audience cares about, then you become a powerful in what you do, you'll have impact and influence. And I think it matters. I feel like we don't need to spend time following people that are just selling us stuff. We know when somebody's selling us something.
Absolutely, yeah.
Create value, don't sell.
Maha, you are a multifaceted person, so and on a business level, you have multiple audience. How do you communicate to multiple audience when you're on one single platform, like let's say your
Yeah.
LinkedIn or your Instagram? And
Question. So I focus on what I know, and I know communications. And I feel like it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a mother? Are you a content creator? Are you self-employed? Are you a student? Are you a business leader? Are you somebody who has their own business? Are you retiring and thinking of switching your career? no matter what age or stage in your life you're at, you need to know how to communicate and do it well. And so I think about my audience is people like me, people like my niece and nephew, people like my sister. I think of humans first. Like, what kind of situation would you be in where you need to know how to communicate better, and then focus on that. And I always think about my values and trying to be consistent. Can I be authentic? Can I add value? And can I educate? Those are my three. Like, it took me a long time to figure out what do I really care about and what's my mission. And I feel like if I can stay true to those things that I care about, that's why you'll see me on the tennis court, doing things with my dog. I don't have my dog anymore, but I did. Yeah, she passed away about a month ago. Just being me and being raw about that, and talk about things that I know, my travels, taking you guys behind the scenes on events, like all the things that go into my life that can bring value to the audience by understanding, like, I had two parents that were very sick. I was a caretaker. I had a lot of responsibility as a daughter of managing both my mom and dad. And I talk about it in rule number 7 of the book. And I know a lot of people go through that. They have to take care of their parents and raise their children, or take care of their parents and start their own families, or deal with work obligations. Like, it's just real life. That's just life. Nobody's life is picture perfect, including mine. Everybody has problems. Everybody has stress in their lives that they're dealing with. And I try to just be real about those things, because I feel like that's what helps me connect with my audience and let them know the real me, and they can see the Maha and what I'm going through, and my good days and my bad days. Like, and I have those, and I share those as well.
So, Ma, because you're thinking of real people first, and I love you said that, how important are the metrics? How many followers, how's the engagement when it comes to the reflection of that on your personal brand, especially if you're a professional?
I think, depending on what your purpose is for the way that you're creating content. Like, are you trying to download an app, so you're looking at those numbers to see if you got any leads from that? I don't sell a product like that. So I don't think so much about the audience metrics in terms of follower count, because I just want to scale what I do to as many people as possible. The things I do care about is, am I bringing value to the audience? Am I, helping them, educate them? And those are the things that I think about. I know a lot of people look at follower count. You could have a lot of followers, but have no impact, or people don't trust you, or you don't have credibility. So I feel like the numbers don't matter if you don't have the impact and influence behind it. And that comes from lived experience and credibility and trust.
Yeah. If the purpose is, you're not being a content creator or social media content creator, then even if you have a small account, you still, as a service provider or a business person, you can still give that kind of impact through your.
I don't do brand deals or collab partnerships. Like, a lot of people, content creators specifically, they do need to worry about how many followers they have, because that's how they make a living. They have to trade that against what a brand might want to leverage with their audience. And so for them, it's they live and die on those numbers, because that's how they get paychecks. And so they need to do that, which is a very big industry and a very big economy and a very big, reputable, honorable job to be doing. I just don't do that. For mine, I don't have to worry about that, because I'm not trying to get those types of transactions. I'm not a creator by trade.
Yeah. And to the people that we were talking to in terms of building their personal brand, everybody starts from somewhere. So if your account is still small, it's the tip that Maha gave, which was, learn how to go to the DM and take the DM to an email, and then the email to the person.
A meeting. Yeah.
Sure. So do you live life with no regrets? That's your rule number 7. That's a hard one.
It's a very easy thing to say, very difficult thing to do, but 100%. I have lived and experienced a lot of setbacks in my life, and try to turn those into my comebacks, and think about what are the things that I don't want to spend my time living in the past, regretting things that have happened to me, because that's a terrible way to live. And we're only on this planet for so long. So how much time can I spend doing the things I care about without dwelling on the past, or feeling sorry for myself, or things that have happened to me that are really unfortunate, using them as a crutch and a tool to hold me back? In fact, it's the kind of the opposite. So I think if you have had things that have happened in your life that have not been the best, don't let that define you. Really find ways to learn from those experiences and turn them into things that you can grow from and build from, and acknowledge them and honor them and accept them, but not let them like be weights that are just holding you down to the ground.
Yeah, this is part of the journey of building that resilience.
I think it's hard. It's not easy. I do acknowledge it's very difficult to do, but I feel like take a minute and think about it.
Yeah. Maha, you've given me so much of your time. I wanna end our conversation with your thoughts on something.
Yes.
Your book, 7 Rules of Self-Reliance. Honestly, it's like it spoke a lot to me, especially as a woman.
Yes.
The self-reliance part.
Good.
But it's for everyone. But your book is like it's like a blueprint. It's like a roadmap. Follow it, and you will get to where you are. You'll get to the destination that you're imagining for yourself, because there are timeless principles wherever you are, whatever the circumstances or country that you live in. There are certain principles that are universal. But from this blueprint, there's a to-do list.
Yeah.
If someone is solo, they don't have the videographer and the editor and the social media manager, all of that, or they're just starting out. What, in your opinion, should be their priority?
Because I think, first of all, think about, what do you like to do? Do you like to write? Do you like to do interviews? Are you doing a podcast? Are you creating videos? You don't need a team. The phones right now are capable of doing anything, and every application on the phone is a self-starting. LinkedIn, you can go to create, go to template. It has built-in templates. You can write something and post it and publish it right away. Same for Instagram and TikTok. Like that, they have built-in tools to make it easy for people to create content. You don't want to be the face of something? Write down your idea, take a picture, and post that every single day. One of the most famous Instagram accounts, you don't even see the guy. It's his red pen and a white piece of paper. He just has style. Case Kinney.
Yes, I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah, and commitment. Do you think?
And just like, how much time do you have to carve out once a week to spend time planning your content? What do you like to do? Do you like to film? Do you like to write? What is it, the content that you like to create? And then what's the right platform that you can do consistently?
Exactly, because that's the kind of commitment.
That's the discipline you need to do. So it's like working out and eating healthy. Like, what are you going to do to make real change for yourself? You really have to know, okay, I can commit to this, and then I can do 15 minutes a day, and that's all I can do. That's perfect. Start somewhere small and then grow from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember my personal trainer was telling me, he's like, the first month, you will notice the difference. Nobody will know. The second month, your inner circle will notice the difference. The third month, the world will notice the difference.
Yeah.
And that just sat with me.
That's so true.
Like, that's so true with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to also do it for you. If you're doing it for other people, then it's not the right reason to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God, Maha, I could talk to you for like hours.
I enjoy this so much.
But I want to thank you so much for being here with us. To everybody who's listening or watching, Maha's book, links to Maha's book, which should be on your to-do list. All the links to the book, to the socials, to Maha's website, of course, to her group coaching program, which, by the way, you're now launching a new cohort.
Yeah, we just launched it. So if you want to get in, please join. It's been so remarkable, so rewarding, so valuable from the people that have told. That's the feedback they've given me. And I'm just like, oh, I was going to do another one in July. We're like, no, we're going to do one in April and then another one in July. So please join if you have any interest in spending time. It's twice a month. We go deep. You'll have value of the transformation is real. I'm really excited. Thank you for bringing it up.
No, I love it. I love it. And all the information about this very intimate cohort for the group coaching, you can see it month by month. What will Maha cover with the group? All of that will be in the show notes. Maha, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you can see, I really enjoyed speaking with Maha and getting to know her perspective, her wisdom, and really honestly great value when it comes to personal brand, building an image, building a reputation, and everything about storytelling. So, as promised, you have everything about Maha when it comes to her socials, her website, and her group coaching program. Everything will be in the show notes. I would like to thank you for joining me this week. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with someone who will benefit from it. If you have the time, I would really appreciate a review on this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, don't forget to keep making waves. Bye.